Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party, Suresh Prabhu, former power minister during the NDA government, he was with the Shiv Sena. C R Kesavan of the Congress Party. Meenakshi Lekhi with me in the studios this evening, national spokesperson of the BJP. Vinod Mehta, editorial chairman of Outlook. And Arati Jerath, senior journalist. What is the meaning of this, Meenakshi Lekhi? You spoke about an accountability commission when you were on the Newshour a few weeks back. That itself caused some alarm. The worry is that there is an element of vindictiveness which the opposition fears.
Seeking accountability and vindictiveness, how do they go together?
An accountability commission.
How does that go with vindictiveness?
Let there be a normal course of inquiry. Why an accountability commission? Is
because
it a commission to fix the opposition?
I'll tell you. See, the manner in which CBI has functioned, the manner in which various agencies have functioned itself is suspect of malgovernance. Now, accountability commission models exist across the world, not in one country, but many countries, including South Africa, which is supposed to be one of the finer models. And I have been doing some research on all that. So, having accountability commission or bringing it within the Loca purview or whatever, how is that being vindictive? You don't think having accountability is part of good governance?
No, I mean, it seems selective.
No, it is not. It all depends on how people perceive it. I mean, if somebody is in Hindi you say, chor ki dadi mein tinka. अरे कोई चोरी नहीं है तो दाढ़ी का क्या करना है?
Well, it doesn't matter. There was no accountability commission for Babubhai Bokadia, who was convicted on 15th of June 2013 and got the stay on 20th of June 2013. He stayed on as water resources minister during those 35 days.
The law of the land will not be selected. Mr. Goswami.
Why was there no accountability commission on Babubhai Bokadia?
No, why did they not establish? They should have established.
Who's they?
They meaning the people who were in power.
But the Gujarat, you were in power.
No. This part is not part of the Gujarat government.
No,
in any case, the law of the land.
Accountability commission on Snoopgate?
No, Snoopgate. You have set up a commission. You're not finding a judge. That's your problem.
No,
they have set up a commission.
No, would the BJP set up an accountability commission on Snoopgate?
No, I'll tell you something. You're talking about Snoopgate. Let them say when NSA was snooping on India, when IB was found snooping on many other people, was there not supposed to be an accountability commission?
So you concede, therefore, Meenakshi, right at the start of this discussion, that the accountability commission is on issues that the BJP finds convenient to it?
No. They are meant for every such issue.
Should we open this up?
And that should have been the responsibility of the government of the day. And the responsibility
they have failed. No, I'm asking you a question on Snoopgate. My question is, current Congress government, Congress government has passed the buck to the succeeding government for appointing a panel. You are correct. They said we will appoint a single judge bench or we'll get a retired Supreme Court judge. They have not done it. I'm asking you, will you do it when you come to power? Will it be part of your accountability commission?
Absolutely. We are absolutely fine.
So you will launch an account?
Absolutely. Anything.
Snoopgate will be part of an inquiry.
Why only Snoopgate? NSA also.
Snoopgate will be part of an inquiry.
NSA also.
You are saying
NSA
that
also.
Snoopgate will be part of an inquiry?
I am saying anything that public should know will be part of that.
So the allegations against Ranjan Bhattacharya will be part of the accountability
panel? Why not Priyanka Gandhi, who's bought 50 acres and sold to the same man in 2 years' time?
Well, what about Ranjan Bhattacharya?
1,300 acres of land.
What about Ranjan Bhattacharya?
Ranjan Bhattacharya should also fall. Why not?
So they should
anybody.
That seems fair. What is your concern then?
What is the concern?
Kesavan, what's your concern? What's your concern?
No. First, Arnab, this is just not a warning for Narendra Modi to the UPA government. You please see a statement on April 21st in Firozabad. He sent a warning to the Election Commission. He said he will investigate the Election Commission to see if the Election Commission holds a free and fair trial. And Modi ji said, I will install a video camera in every booth. And after the election, I'll set up an inquiry. Who is he after the election? What kind of power has the people have bestowed on? We are in the midst of an election. On April 21st, he says, after the election, I'll set up an inquiry. You're insulting the democracy and the people of India. This is brazenly condescending self-conceit, which the people of India will soundly reject. He'll be humbled because you are in the midst of an election. The electors are, the voters of India are exercising their choice. And you go ahead and make statements like this. This is not the culture of India, sir. First thing. Second point.
So implicit in what you say. Implicit therefore in what you say. Implicit in what you say, Mr. Kesavan, is a written assumption that you agree that you have lost the election, A. Having
Not at all. I
agreed
think
that therefore you lost the election because you assume, your first argument should have been that Narendra Modi will not come to power and hence this accountability commission will not happen. The sense of absolute and acute nervousness with which you respond to the question makes me believe that you already believe you lost the election.
I'm saying Mr. Modi ji is going to be humbled and defeated in this election. He says he'll set up an inquiry. Who is he to set up an inquiry? Firozabad is in Uttar Pradesh. How can he, is he a chief minister of Uttar Pradesh? How will he set up an inquiry after the election? I'm saying he's going to be defeated. Who is he to set up an inquiry? The Congress.
Then why are you reacting? Then why are you reacting? Why are you looking nervous? What are you worried about?
The Congress.
Are you worried about the Vadra case being picked up?
Not at all.
Are you worried about the Robert Vadra case being picked up? Are you worried about 2G being linked to the Congress party and not just to the PMO?
The Congress party's hands are clean. We have no worries. Let me give you an example. First, they threatened
Meenakshi wants to respond. 1 second. Meenakshi wants to respond. Counter response. Mr. Kesavan, yes. No, 1 second.
Mr. Kesavan, just answer me on two things. If illegal purchases have been made in this country, or elections are countermanded, or some people's name have disappeared from lists, should that not be the concern of the government of the day? And you are not going to set up any inquiry, that's what you're trying to say? You have never done it in the past and you will never do it. Why should people vote for you? Because you're not interested in the good governance.
Of the Election Commission. I'm not surprised because you're questioning the work of the Election Commission here.
I'll tell you Election Commission. I'll tell you some. I'll ask you a pointed question on Election Commission. I'll ask you a pointed question on Election Commission. And pointed question is about how a party which fights election for the first time, their symbol being registered. That is my first question. Anybody who's familiar with election law knows this.
No, 1 second. Is there an element of vindictiveness in what the BJP is saying? 1 second. Vinod Mehta.
I want to make one point.
No right-thinking person
I want to make one point. You talk
not
about
welcome in accountability.
One point.
Just Mr. Kesavan, 1 second. Vinod Mehta is right. If he says don't make it a bilateral debate, 1 second. We'll bring you back. I know the principal protagonists on both sides are Meenakshi Lekhi and you, but Vinod Mehta has the right to say something. And by the way, I have a few questions of BJP as well.
So I
1
think,
second, Mr. Kesavan. Vinod Mehta, please.
I think no right-minded.
Vinod Mehta, please.
1 minute, Mr. Kesavan. Just no right-minded person would argue with the appointment of an accountability commission. I think we need accountability. The problem is that the BJP is not such a clean party. And what will happen in the end, that we will find people from one party being targeted and all kinds of excuses being found for people from Meenakshi Lekhi's party. They may be less in number, but they are certainly there. They are egregious examples. And I think India is not South Africa. I think you're making, to compare India with South Africa is quite preposterous. The other thing I find very disturbing is people like Uma Bharti saying we'll send him to jail. What right does Uma Bharti have to send people to jail in this country? The judges, the court send people to jail. Uma Bharti doesn't.
You're saying that all of this basically, Arati, you get a feeling that all of this basically gives a feeling that the BJP is waiting to come to power and strike at the opponents.
There will be
the arms of the
she's sitting here. Arnab, I'm saying there will be no accountability commission. There will be no genuine accountability commission, because in a genuine accountability commission, Mr. Yedurappa, Mr. Ranjan Bhattacharya, there are all kinds of people would have to be there.
Arnab, look at the history of commissions. 1977, the Janata Party came to power. The first thing they did was set up a Shah Commission, which was like an accountability commission. And what happened? It frittered away all its energies in that Shah Commission, arrested Mrs. Gandhi,
by being
vindictive and set her on a comeback trail. The Janata Party
you're saying
just collapsed
the BJP
after
perished the thought of an accountability commission?
They absolutely, unless they can make sure that this commission is going to actually achieve
Nobody
something.
would trust them to have an independent accountability commission.
Does your party have scores to settle?
They should be looking at governance, development, getting the economy back on the rails. There's so many challenges facing the next government, and they're going to devote all their energies on an accountability commission.
No. See, there are two things. One is what Arati is saying, the issue is of development, the issue is of economic growth, the issue is of, end of the day, of governance. How do you achieve governance without being accountable? The manner in which this government has run its course. And also, when 77 is being brought in, let me tell you, nobody tabled that report. Had that report been tabled, and I have read that report, And I have read that all the wrongs these people have done, so many people who could not have become whatever they became later in life, had
Like
that
who?
been...
Like who?
I'm purposely not naming because today a
That
whole lot of
report is
them...
available everywhere. What are you talking about?
How that report is available today? Because it was reprinted.
You first make a statement, then you saying the report is not available. The report is available.
Now let Mr. Mehta be corrected here. The entire report was destroyed. 4 copies were kept, one being at my own residence. And from there, copies were made subsequently when NDA came in power, and then those copies have been distributed. Otherwise, that report was destroyed. And
Is this what was promised? Is this what you promised to the people of this country?
What I promised,
for example,
but
I can also ask you while you're accountability panel, you can accountability panel, fine, great idea, accountability panel. My question to Gaurav Bhatia. Gaurav Bhatia comes in. I just have one thought to the BJP. Why 1 minute, please?
Arnab, it's a mockery.
Mr. Kesavan.
I need to make a point. One point.
Arnab, it is
I haven't
important.
got a chance, Arnab. Everything.
They destroyed
about us.
Shah
Let me make a
Commission
point.
report.
Arnab, can I just make
I
a
just
point?
want to say one thing, Arnab. Lekhi ji talked about accountability.
Gaurav, let Kesavan complete, and after that you can take on Meenakshi Lekhi if you want to.
Just a minute. Gaurav 1 second. Gaurav 1 minute. They talk about accountability, Arnab. Today, the polls were finished in Tamil Nadu. They made, Mr. Modi made such unsavory comments about 2G.
1 second, I can't hear both of you together. No, 1 second, I can't hear both of you together. I request you. One of you at a time. Gaurav, I'll come to you. Suresh Prabhu, I'm coming to you. 1 second, Mr. Kesavan, you complete your point. Gaurav hasn't spoken yet. Suresh Prabhu has not spoken yet. And I want to ask the BJP, will that accountability commission look into allegations that the Gujarat government has been far too generous with the Adani group giving away land at throwaway prices?
First,
Will that or will that not be part of the accountability commission looks into?
Adani has not
Will Snoopgate be part of accountability commission?
Adani has not been given any land free of cost or at lower cost, and that is all reported. Now, this kind of false propaganda needs to be brought under accountability commission, and accountability even for those who lie and peddle lies.
No, please extend the courtesy to listen. No, Arnab, 1 point. See, accountability, these people, it's a mockery. What a hypocrisy. They talked about 2G and made such, funny innuendos and unsavory manner. BJP has failed to put up a candidate against Mr. Raja and Nilgiris today. BJP has no candidate. Its main candidate and standby candidate, Mr. Gurumurthy and Anbarasan, have been disqualified because they couldn't put B forms. B form is basically a form where the party gives its symbol. This is a sham because it's a secret understanding where a BJP candidate is not put up against Mr. Raja, whom they accused. The Congress party arrested him, the CBI took action, but BJP has not put a candidate against Mr. Raja. Do they have an answer for that? That's the hypocrisy of the BJP. And these people are talking about accountability. It's a sham.
You gave Kanimoy Rajya Sabha, didn't you?
It's a sham. No, please.
What is sham? You gave Kanimoy Rajya Sabha.
Answer that.
What is
You
sham?
didn't put a candidate against Raja. You didn't put a candidate against Raja. You don't have an answer for that, ma'am. Please
No, I don't have an answer because I don't have the papers. Now, who knows what you guys did?
No. How can you file everywhere but not file with Mr. Raja?
No, watch. In a recent interview, no, 1 second, please. Meenakshi Lekhi, 1 minute. In a recent interview, Gaurav, I'm coming to you now. In a recent interview, Narendra Modi says, perish the thought of any vindictiveness. I pray to God that a thought about vindictiveness does not even occur to me. In another interview, Narendra Modi, when asked, will you have a 100-day time for delivering promises? He says, why should I have a 100-day time? I have 5 years. I'll be elected for 5 years. So where's the hurry? Therefore, my only question therefore is, Gaurav, what surprises me in all of this is that the only thing that the BJP seems to be in a tearing hurry about is to fix an accountability commission to look into cases which they feel need to be looked at. No. If there is no hurry on delivering development promises, you look at 5 years for that. Why do you want to hurry up other cases which you believe you need to bring accountability on? And why do you get touchy when a question on Adani is asked? That's a question the opposition will ask.
No, Adani, why do you keep asking about Adani and not ask about who all have made money during 10 years?
The opposition asked you about Adani, you asked them about Robert Vadra.
I've answered. Adani is not equivalent of Robert Vadra, by the way.
But Adani cancelled out Vadra? If Vadra has done something, that's an
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
The old game we are playing.
No, absolutely
your
not.
crook is better than
I
my
would say the Vadra beneficiary happens to be Priyanka Gandhi herself, Priyanka
And the
Vadra.
Vadra
And
the
Priyanka
Adani
Vadra.
beneficiary needs to be Narendra Modi.
Absolutely not.
The
Absolutely
Adani
not.
beneficiary is Narendra
From
Modi.
where? From where?
So the
I mean, you
so
see,
the Robert,
you look at the papers.
allegations against Robert Vadra will be part of your accountability committee. You feel they deserve to be?
No, I'm saying if Robert Vadra has done wrongs, he better be part of that. If Adani has done
they
wrong,
say the Supreme
he
Court
better
has
be part
dismissed the
of that.
petitions against on Robert Vadra and supercilious.
Listen, an order in REM is different from a judgment. This was an order that PIL is not maintainable. There should be a separate case. That's why I'm saying legality of the whole process is very different. And what really transpired in the family is again a separate question altogether.
Well,
why should it bother? Why should it bother anybody if 1 lakh rupees can be converted into 300 crores? Why not you, and Mr. Mehta make it that way?
Why should land be given away at
Absolutely.
1/100th of the price?
Ask Congress the same question. 2 rupees for Kandla Fort.
the old game.
2 rupees.
Meenakshi, what you're saying is that your prime target is the Gandhi family.
No,
That
no.
the first
I
thing
think
you're
that's
going
your
to do when you
understanding.
come to power,
That's
you will
your
go after the Gandhi
understanding.
family.
That's
what you
your
plan to do.
understanding.
This is an implied
I can
threat.
only say
This is a threat
an understanding.
15 days before.
This is an understanding
This is
of the
Arnab,
people.
Isn't it
who
very
are
strange? 1 minute,
soft
Meenakshi,
towards
please, you
Congress.
talk a lot. Isn't it strange that 15 days before the elections, when Mr. Modi is about to be elected as Prime Minister, we have arrived at this accountability commission is top of the agenda.
By the way, let me
How
say the
did this
idea of an
happen?
accountability commission.
for the Gandhi
and nobody
family.
trusts them to have an
It's so
honest-
clear that
Why
it's
should anybody have a
entirely
problem
aimed
with
at
the
the Gandhi
accountability
family.
commission?
Well, because it's worded in a very innocent manner. But Gaurav, let's get Gaurav and Suresh
Why
Prabhu
should
into this.
anybody have a problem?
It's worded in an innocuous manner, but the opposition feels, I mean the government, the Congress party feels that the intention is something very else. The intention
They
is
have a whole
vindictive.
lot
Gaurav
to-
Bhatia.
I mean, do
Gaurav
they have
Bhatia, getting
things to
back to the
hide?
debate. Gaurav.
Arnab, I just have one thing to say, that if the Chief Minister is accountable to anybody in the state, it is the Lokayukt. And Gujarat is the only state where for 8 years there was no Lokayukta. His appointment was challenged before the High Court. The Narendra Modi government lost the case before the High Court. They moved the Supreme Court. And now these people who were not themselves accountable to anybody, they feel they'll come to power and also have an accountability commission. Second thing, why do we need more institutions? Mr. Narendra Modi actually destroys every institution apart from the one that he holds. And that is why we have the CVC, we have the CBI, we have the Supreme Court, we'll soon have the Lokpal. Do we need any accountability commission? It's just pure political vendetta. It is the same kind of vindictive politics that the BJP has been doing. They should have faith in the existing institutions rather than talking about new institutions when the existing ones also
You have
are
faith in
being
the
interfered
institutions, Gaurav
from the
Bhatia.
government.
You have faith in the CBI. I thought you were most
sorry.
critical of the CBI. I thought your Netaji would go and make every single speech about how the CBI is fixing him. It is so supremely ironical that on the Newshour today you come and say have faith in institutions. You have controverted and subverted every single argument that you have put vis-a-vis the CBI by saying so. Complete hypocrisy, Gaurav.
I am saying that, listen to me, this is not hypocrisy if you listen to me and pay attention. I am saying every government should give CBI, CVC and the Lokpal a free hand, which was not done in the UPA 2,
A free hand.
UPA 1 regime. But hopefully the next government would give them a free hand, and therefore we don't need new institutions. This is my point.
One second, Suresh Prabhu, please, has not come back to the debate. Have faith in institutions. But why the talk about accountability commission? Once again, Mr. Kesavan, I want to get in former union minister in the NDA government and Shiv Sena leader Suresh Prabhu back into the debate. Suresh Prabhu, why this talk about an accountability commission right now? The accountability should be to the people of this country for bringing down inflation. The accountability should be to the people of this country about development and governance. The accountability cannot be that all these cases of corruption, wait till I will come and sort it all out. It seems that there is an unnatural haste. The opposition feels there's an unnatural haste in the BJP to target them individually after they come to, if the BJP wants to come to power. Hasn't happened before. Vajpayee didn't do it when he came to power. You were a minister in his cabinet. Vajpayee didn't do it.
But the point is, see, there was a huge agitation by Anna Hazare. Millions of people participated in the agitation throughout the country. What was the issue? The people were saying that, we feel that government of the day is not accountable to anybody. It seems that there are some allegations of corruption, act of omissions, which amount to loss of revenue, but it seems that nobody is responsible for it. So suppose any government in office, if there is an allegation against the present government, I am not saying the government that Mr. Narendra Modi will head, if there is any allegation against the minister of that particular government, how do you account him for that allegation? How do you make sure that the allegation is right, wrong, or the allegation is supposed to be taken responsible? What is the institution which is available today? So courts of India will finally decide if at all this accountability commission is not going to be above the Supreme Court of India. All these ideas that we talk about are the ideas to find out how do you actually fix the responsibilities with a particular functionary of the government which was contemplated and we are supposed to exercise in the good faith in the interest of the people.
Why?
If he is doing
Why? Are you assuming the existing institutions are too weak? Or that they don't exist? Arati Jerath, counter question.
No, Arnab, but just 1 minute. I'm just saying is, if you create an institution,
not all at the same time. Gaurav, 1 minute.
They have all been destroyed. The CAG submitted a report on 2G which went to the PAC, which is headed by a BJP leader. What happened to it? The opposition did not fulfill its role, the role that it is supposed to play in Parliament. And that's why nobody's been held accountable.
This therefore reinforces the point which Priyanka Gandhi is making of late. That you are targeting Robert Vadra to target me. So you are actually reinforcing, and Meenakshi Lekhi, you are smiling, but that is the basic fact. That the more you talk about an accountability commission, the more fire there will be in the Congress party argument that it is not about Robert Vadra, it's about political fixing if you were to come to power.
I am so surprised at the arguments raised, because you mean to say people in this country, whoever be the government or people in power or heading the institutions, should go unaccounted and should not be accountable to the people of this country. And so many institutions, when Arti makes a statement and brings in BJP surreptitiously, I'm surprised at that argument.
There was a 58,000 crore.
Allow me to complete. Allow me to complete. Allow me to complete. Now, CAG is not giving the right report. Supreme Court is wrong. There has been a zero loss. Nothing has happened. Who was in power and who were the people? The same people whose faces are being shown on TV today. Why are people scared of being accountable?
No,
I think I will open.
I'll ask you. Meenakshi, let me ask you this.
You think the existing framework
Vinod Mehta's magazine outlook.
Enough?
1 second, one minute. Mr. Kesavan. Yeah. What's your counterpoint? Gaurav Bhatia, yes? Yes, Gaurav Bhatia?
Mrs. Meenakshi Lekhi has still not answered why there was no Lokayukt in Gujarat.
And let me answer him, please. I mean, so much of lies can't be peddled. No. He's made this point. It just went unrebutted. I am making the point.
You always speak over him when he's making his point, so you don't let him make his point.
He's made his point earlier.
1 minute, let him make his point. He has a right to make his point.
In fact, I'm interrupted.
Please, yes, Gaurav.
8 years. There was no Lokayukta in Gujarat. And second, I would say the existing framework, existing institutions are enough if we do not interfere in their functioning, which the successive governments have been doing. The CBI is a very competent body, but you have to give them a free hand. And the BJP is doing nothing, but they are trying to, just do political vendetta politics, and that should not be encouraged.
Okay, now let me answer him on two counts. One is that you have probably not read either the judgment or the history of Lokayukt in Gujarat, because not once, thrice the names have been finalized and sent, and the governor of the Gujarat never sent it or forwarded it or never allowed. Number one. So your statement that Gujarat never appointed is a lie, number one. And don't peddle lies. Number two,
no, it is
how Supreme Court has... I have not completed, Mr. Goswami. And don't interrupt.
No, you
don't interrupt when I'm answering.
Both of you at the same time.
I don't interrupt when I'm answering. He's made 2 points. I have to answer him twice. What is the point he's making?
You're not hearing him.
Please start picking up the history of Lokayukt in Gujarat. How it was sabotaged by the Congress government.
Just a minute, hear him. Hear him. Get the strain of
The
his argument.
second part-
Get the strain of
The
his
only
argument.
government-
What a good debate.
the only
Hear the
government-
opponent.
No,
Hear
the
your
second
opponent.
answer,
No, one second. Hear your
second
opponent.
answer, second answer,
Hear your
that
opponent.
existing institutions
Lekhi,
are
please
enough.
don't state
Yes,
incorrect
maybe
facts.
who
You read
is,
the Gujarat
maybe
High Court
they need to be
judgment. What
redone.
did the Gujarat
Maybe
High
a
Court
better
say?
governance
They
model
upheld
needs to
the
come up.
appointment,
Maybe
and that was
Loca
challenged.
needs to be, or Lokayukt needs to be given more powers.
Maybe
How
Gujarat
it has to
High Court
happen, that will
upheld the
happen.
appointment
But there has to be
challenged
some form of
by
accountable.
the
Okay, Meenakshi, now please, one second, you made your point. Counterpoints to Meenakshi. And I'm making a sincere request to the panel.
Mrs.
Sincere
Lekhi-
request. I'm making two requests. Make your
Mrs.
point
Lekhi
briefly.
is wrong on
Do
two
not
counts,
intervene when
Arnab.
someone else is speaking.
Yeah.
Yes, Gaurav's turn. I'm going to say whose turn. Gaurav's turn now. Gaurav's turn. Gaurav's turn.
The
before
only
you
government
please.
in the history of India who has challenged the appointment of the Lokayukta is the Gujarat government. They lost before
Yes.
the High Court.
Yes.
The High Court upheld the appointment. They moved the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also upheld, and then they amended the act to dilute the powers of the Lokayukta.
No.
And that is the real fact.
No.
And please, Mrs. Lekhi, when you dilute, because the Lokayukta would keep a check on Mr. Narendra Modi, I think the BJP has no right to talk about a high moral ground.
No,
or
1
to
minute.
say
Don't
there would
respond.
be an
Don't respond
accountability
just yet.
commission.
Don't respond just
Accountability
yet.
should
I
have
raise a
started from
point
the
here
state
and
of
Vinod
Gujarat.
Mehta is testimony to it. 1 second. Mr. Kesavan, I'm coming to you. I'm directing the debate with a few points. Vinod Mehta was editor of Outlook. Today is editorial chairman of Outlook. Vinod Mehta was editor of Outlook in 2001, 2002 during the Vajpayee government. Okay? And our other guest today, Suresh Prabhu, was a cabinet minister in the Vajpayee government. And Mr. Suresh Prabhu, don't mind, please. Vajpayee has had many qualities. I know for the BJP, you say anything against Vajpayee, you all get jumpy about it. Don't jump. We have a right to criticize politicians. We have a right to criticize prime ministers. We criticize Manmohan Singh. We can criticize Vajpayee. You see, people talk about vendetta, vindictiveness because there has been vendetta and vindictiveness in the past. Who better than Vinod Mehta knows about it? You were vindictive against media organizations that exposed alleged corruption. Were you not? Was it not after Operation West End that Tehelka's offices were raided? Was it not after Vinod Mehta magazine brought out the story on Ranjan Bhattacharya that its offices were raided? So you have shown yourself, Mr. Suresh Mehta, of being eminently vindictive in the past. That's why there is a fear that you will be vindictive in the future. Suresh Mehta responds. Vinod Mehta, I want to say something before that.
Arnab,
Suresh Prabhu, yes. Vinod
Arnab,
Mehta.
I think that
Yeah.
nobody
See,
will
firstly,
quarrel with an
let me tell you,
accountability commission.
You know, Mr.
But
Vajpayee.
I think I speak for the
Mr.
overwhelming majority of people in this country that we do not trust BJP to run an honest
not trust the
accountability
BJP,
commission.
okay, fine.
Yes.
They will find just now, Meenakshi Lekhi, every time she finds an answer that no, Ranjan Bhattacharya is not guilty because this matter is he has been exonerated here, like the Loca in Gujarat.
No, you should not trust Congress because
1
Congress
minute,
should have investigated
I'm not
him.
talking for
Congress
all I'm
has not
saying
Why do you say we don't
investigated
trust the BJP?
Why are you asking
the
me?
BJP?
I don't,
Was BJP
I
in
don't,
power?
and
Why didn't
people
they
in this
investigate?
country,
Court
given
of
their
law,
record,
don't wait
don't
for
No,
the
no,
want
you're
them
making
to
a-
run
you're
an honest
illogically
an
faulty
accountability
statement.
commission in the hands of the BJP will be a
BJP
vendetta
cannot
and
be trusted.
vindictiveness.
Meenakshi, I know you want to come in. I want to go across to
No,
Suresh Prabhu.
BJP
Suresh-
cannot be trusted by people who never report on Augusta Westland. BJP cannot be trusted by
doesn't
people
report
who...
on Augusta Westland?
I want to ask that question. Who's printed Mrs.
Lekhi
Gandhi's
saying
picture? Who's
that they could
printed
not find the retired High Court
Ahmed
I'm very
Patel?
sorry, Meenakshi Lekhi.
Who's
Meenakshi
printed
Lekhi.
what?
Okay,
everything
sorry. No,
you
one
want
second,
Mrs.
one
Gandhi's
minute.
picture.
Yes,
Meenakshi
Italian
Lekhi.
media
No,
did.
Meenakshi
Italian
Lekhi.
media did.
Meenakshi
Italian media
Meenakshi
did.
Lekhi, let me ask you this. Because 1 minute, then it's let you and I have a conversation on this.
We can have
You talk about Augusta Westland. Did the BJP get sued by Augusta Westland or did Times Now get sued by Augusta Westland? Be careful about what you say. We got sued by Augusta Westland, not the
So
BJP.
you should have-
You
you should
shoot
have
over our
challenged it.
shoulders
You
and
didn't
to
put
attack.
Sonia
No,
Gandhi's
I-
picture. That
No,
was
we
your
don't
fault.
need
No,
lessons on that.
I'm saying
Please
there are-
understand.
this was a question directed at Mr. Mehta, who's sitting here, because on a fake deal, so-called arms deal, there was a reporting, but on real arms deal, there is no reporting. That
That's
is my
your view.
question.
That's your view.
No, that is my view, so I'm entitled to my view.
It is the media that
Arnab.
exposed the Augusta Westland deal.
Arnab,
Please,
let's not forget,
what are you
it is
talking
the media.
about?
No.
It is the media that
let's
picked
not
it up,
forget.
the
But we
media that
didn't,
went on against it.
put Sonia Gandhi's picture in that deal.
So that's why the
That's
media
problem.
did not. Okay, so then you're
So
just
will you then have an
underlining that you're
accountability
after the
commission on the
Gandhi
media
family.
also now? That why did the media not
There
put
was-
Sonia
there
Gandhi's
was
picture
the-
on the Augusta
No, I
Westland
think you people, so-called with the freedom of press and everything, are
So-called, you don't believe in the freedom of the press?
I don't know how much it works, because sometimes you realize that certain particular 324 hours for particular news, when the judgment comes, it only gets 1 minute. So those kinds of questions.
And all the stories and the scams which have been broken in the
course,
national media, which you quote has been put out by who? Who's exposed it? The
Huge
BJP.
good work, but there's always a scope for improvement.
The BJP exposed CWG.
Huge scope for improvement.
Well, let me tell you, the last day, it will be the last day when a journalist seeks
Arnab,
improvement and guidance
why
on
should it
improvement
not?
from political
I mean,
Maybe we need a commission to teach the
Arnab, should
media
we
how
in
to
the
do its
media now
job.
also be worried
No,
about?
maybe they should be
Okay,
a
Gaurav
commission.
Bhatia coming
Media
back.
how to do its job.
I think before Gaurav Bhatia, I have to go to Mr. Kesavan. Mr. Kesavan, are you nervous again? Are you nervous? If you have nothing to hide, let them bring it on. You should say, bring it on. You should say to Meenakshi Lekhi tonight, bring it on. Bring on your accountability.
I don't want to be interrupted. Let me make a point. Bring it on, because Congress party brought in the RTI, Congress party passed the Loca, but these people have Purushottam Solanki and Babulal Bokria sitting there pretty in his cap. Don't interrupt me, madam. Have the civility and the courtesy. I never said a word. Kindly, if you interrupt me, the people of India will give you an answer. Kindly listen to us. Let me tell you this, Arnab. This is, who's jittery? These people were having a facade and a smokescreen of development, and on the other side there was hate ventriloquism by the BJP. Mr. Togadia, hate ventriloquism, and the real voice is Mr. Modi ji's. But the puppets have these people echoes like, Giriraj or Togadia or, even Kadam. But now what has happened is BJP is panicking because their divisive agenda of mobilizing by polarizing has come out. So they're coming out and issuing threats in an authoritarian way against UP.
What's the threat? Where's the threat?
Accountability, we are very happy.
Which part is the threat? Where's the threat? Which is the threat?
Look at the way they threaten the people of India. Look at the way they threaten the people of India. They said if you're against Modi, you go
She's
to Pakistan.
saying you're panicking.
What do you mean by that?
She says you're in panic.
Isn't that a threat?
Why should it bother you?
They threatened the election commission. They threatened, if you don't have, please let me complete. They said if you
No, let him complete. He has the right to complete.
If I may
You
expose
question.
them.
He has the right to complete. 1 second.
Whether it's the CBI, whether it's the CBI, whether it's the election commission, these people want to break the edifice of democracy and all the pillars of institutions. They want to break all the institutions, whether it's CBI or election commission or anybody. And I'll tell you one thing, Arnab, all this tall talk is going to be quashed because BJP will be humbled in the polls, and the people of India don't like this condescending attitude, and they will be given a befitting reply on May 16th.
I want to answer.
No, I have a 1 second. I have a counter question to Mr. Kesavan, please. No, Mr. Kesavan, ये दोहरे मापदंड, double standards, hypocrisy of the Congress party must also be questioned here. Tell me,
Please.
you don't believe in any vendetta or vindictiveness, right? So, the disproportionate assets case against Jagan Reddy, when he quit your party, was accidental, coincidental, maybe you will say it was the hand of God in your
Mr.
party.
Mulayam Singh
He
Yadav.
quit your party in November
Mr. Mulayam
29,
Singh Yadav,
2010. Let me complete. In the same month, P. Shankar Rao, former minister in the Andhra cabinet and a member of the Congress party, wrote a letter that was considered to be a writ petition by the High Court that included allegations against Reddy. The entire system woke up when he rebelled against your party leadership, which means I can also go say that if he had fallen in line, your system would not have woken up. So what kind of an accountability commission was that, and what right do you have to complain today?
Let me give you
What right do you have to complain today about? You do the same thing. You don't call it the accountability commission. That's all. You do it through the CBI.
Let me give you an example of the CBI and objectivity.
First of all, accept the point I made on Jagan Reddy.
Not at all. I won't.
Accept the point I made on Jagan Reddy.
I said that the Congress party is for transparency, and it will ensure that the law of the land takes its course. Let me tell you this. In February 2011, when there was elections in Tamil Nadu, when the Congress party was with the DMK, the CBI entered the headquarters of the DMK. You think this is not objectivity? Any political party with an axe to grind would have done this. The CBI entered and they interrogated.
Yes, Gaurav.
Don't question this. These are all facts.
Gaurav, one second, Gaurav.
Arnab, Mr. Kesavan should be reminded that the only time a sitting law minister had to resign because he interfered with the functioning of the CBI was in the Congress regime. The Supreme Court had to say that you made CBI a caged parrot, and that is how they've destroyed institutions. And this is the reason why I said we have enough institutions in place. We need to give them respect. We need to give them a free hand so that they can investigate fairly, and they should be free from any political interference. And Mr. Kesavan, I think you are forgetting CBI has been misused by the Congress all throughout.
Not at all.
It is the Congress which has also played a very serious role in destroying an efficient body like the CBI and the CVC. And for that the blame lies
Not at all.
towards the Congress.
Not at all.
What not at all?
Let me tell you this.
Mr. Ashwini Kumar resigned because the Supreme Court had to say that you
No,
made
my question
CBI a case
now,
valid.
my
It has
question
never
before I
happened
close.
that the affidavit
No, my question
was
is about
vetted
harassment.
by
One
the,
second.
Law Minister.
My question to Meenakshi Lekhi, and by the way, one minute. You see, 1 second, please. I'd like to say 1 second to Meenakshi Lekhi. Miss Lekhi, perish the thought of trying to dictate to the media what it should do or not do. And perish the thought of setting qualitative standards to the media on what is right or not right. The media will not learn lessons in how to do journalism from the BJP. Now my question is this.
They should themselves learn the lessons.
No,
and I believe in the freedom of media.
Well, I
but
hope
when
you do, because you
are
said
from
so-called.
Nirbhaya,
No, you said
trial
so-called.
to be covered,
You said
I was the one who appeared for you.
Yeah, but you said so-called freedom
so-called.
of speech. You said that,
Is
and I
not
would request
exercised
you.
correctly.
I would request you to please take away the prefix so-called from it. That is freedom of speech, which has neither been given nor will be in the future arrogated by the BJP, whether it is in power or in the opposition.
It is by
the point is very
constitution.
simple. The point is very simple. My last point is this: CBI angle. What does Modi say? Modi say harassment, right? He said I've been harassed. He tells the Congress that the CBI won't be able to harm him. Now you're a lawyer. The fact remains in all the matters concerning the encounter cases in Gujarat, for example, it was not the Congress-led government but the courts that ordered a CBI inquiry. Therefore, if Narendra Modi is claiming harassment at the hands of the CBI, is he pointing at the courts or the Congress party?
Misuse of the institutions.
First of all, is this statement factually incorrect?
No, it is not factually incorrect. It is what a person has gone over with this government at the center and has been constantly harassed. Mr. Goswami,
he speaks of harassment. The Gujarat High Court, if I'm not mistaken.
You're very courteous to everyone, so allow me to complete.
I'm courteous, but factually, is it not true that the Gujarat government, Gujarat High Court ordered a CBI inquiry into the Ishrat Jahan case? When the case was being handed over to the CBI because state agencies had been discredited in an earlier report by the SIT. So when you are speaking of harassment, are you talking about being harassed by the courts?
No.
Because in each of these cases, it's the court's intervention which is to be spoken
I'll tell you, how was court's intervention sought?
As well.
NHRC gives a report. Home Ministry files an affidavit. 8 years later, the same are transformed and same are changed by the government. And now that is brought before the court.
Okay.
Now court has to pass an order. They'll say, okay, if the government is saying so, inquire into it. Now, who is responsible is the government.
We have 2 minutes left. We are getting counters. Vinod Mehta first. Vinod Mehta. Mr. Kesavan and Gaurav Bhatia, I'm coming to you. Listen to Vinod Mehta.
I hope Meenakshi Lekhi doesn't speak for the BJP. But I am really alarmed at some of the things that he has said about the press. And already there is a kind of great environment of fear that when Mr. Modi comes in, the press will be taught a lesson.
Oh my God.
Yes, of course there is that thing. So what I am trying to say, that please, anybody who has tried to attack the press has been attacked himself. Nobody has defeated. We are strong enough. We will stand Mr. Modi, we will stand other people. And we don't need, as Arnab says, we don't need any advice from you or from Congress party on how we should function.
That's true.
I think
that's true. No. One minute. I think we were getting. I think
Mr. Mehta,
you want to respond?
I do, because I am somebody who stands for the freedom of press and freedom of lawyers. And I also know that in 77 and around that period, how press conducted its business, and several other times when questions can be asked of any of the two institutions. And that is also in the freedom. That is also as much a part of freedom.
As I said, I'd say one again.
In every institution.
You see, perennially, historically, politicians have tried, and I'm saying tried, operational word is tried. Politicians try to put the media on the defensive by
and failed.
But 1 second.
But media also needs to answer
independence of the media is from the Constitution of India.
I agree.
Unless you say we'll trample on the Constitution of India, I repeat now.
I agree.
Perish the thought perish the
who
thought
has
of
that
trying to tell the
Who has
media
that
what to
thought?
do. No, I'm just
Who has that thought?
But you've
I'm
been
not.
saying
I'm not
that
there.
Anyway, we're getting distracted.
You say you can have questions.
Counters coming in.
about certain
Counters coming in.
people.
Suresh Prabhu. The BJP has been vindictive in the
very
past.
quick
Hence,
point.
the Congress says it's worried about being vindictive in the future as well. Suresh Prabhu.
Arnab.
Gaurav after that.
I think the history of vindictiveness is the history of Congress.
Coming back to power.
Hello.
We are not worried.
Hello.
We are confident we are coming back to power.
Suresh Prabhu, the Vajpayee government was vindictive with certain media houses, Tehelka and Outlook included. So vendetta has been there in the past. There is a fear of vendetta this time. Not by the media so much, but by political parties and your political opponents.
You should have forced the Congress party.
See,
to
we
take
are
that.
forgetting the media was under the severest of threat during 1975 to 1977, when there was a censorship first time in India's history, that what should
Sir,
be
I'm
published,
talking
what
about
should not be
2014.
published.
No,
In
they
fact,
forget
one
that.
publication. I'll just
Why don't
let
you
this
want to
sir,
talk
but
about
the one
2014?
publication had to
Same media
put
When your
the
entire political campaign, your entire political campaign on corruption,
entire front page on the black.
piggyback
So that
upon the
was
exposes done by
1975 to
the media.
1977.
Anyway,
then
no,
in
then after
the question here
is,
after
no, you want to go
Shahbanu
into
case,
medieval history, I
there
can.
was
The matter
a
is, no, Mr. Suresh
But
Prabhu, the
there
question
was
by
a
your
move.
political opponent says you have a history of being vindictive. The Vajpayee government was vindictive at certain
Do you
points
remember
of time.
Vajpayee? You don't remember Indira Gandhi? That's my
My
question.
question is,
No, but
I'm talking
but
about
you know,
what's happened in the recent past.
Where
Indira Gandhi also, please question her.
No, but where did you?
Media.
But where did
Accountability
you?
Commission
But
is
where
part
did you
of a
get this
justified
idea
fear.
of Vajpayee being vindictive? In fact, none of his even opponents will ever say that Vajpayee was vindictive. I was in his cabinet. I will tell you several instances wherein there was a pressure on Mr.
Well, I'm sure he
Vajpayee,
was
the
not
Prime Minister,
vindictive to his
take action.
cabinet ministers.
Remember Indira Gandhi is my question.
So Mr. Vajpayee,
Okay.
Mr. Vajpayee can never
Okay,
be
now-
accused of being vindictive. In
Now,
fact,
should I have to take a break? Should I take a break and come back? Should I take a break and come back? I think viewers want this
Arnab.
debate to continue. We'll take a break. We'll come back in 4 minutes. I have to take a commercial break. Gaurav Bhatia and Mr. Kesavan will give you a chance to rebut Meenakshi Lekhi on the other side. Back in 3 minutes. Spokesperson of the BJP, Vinod Mehta, Editorial Chairman of... We're going to extend this debate by 5 more minutes. The question I have to Suresh Prabhu is, Suresh Prabhu, these things can be self-destructive. My question... Okay, Suresh Prabhu is not on. So my question goes to Meenakshi Lekhi. It's self-destructive, isn't it? Just answer that briefly.
Arnab,
Run
can
the
I just
country,
ask
govern
Mrs.
the
Lekhi a
country if you
question?
get the
Because I
opportunity.
think-
But before that, I see 2 hands go up. One second. Gaurav wants to come in already. Sorry. Yes,
Arnab.
Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav.
Yeah.
Arnab.
Arnab, you know, we were discussing the Snoop Gate and I heard Mrs. Lekhi saying that the inquiry commission has been ordered, but we can't find a retired High Court judge or a retired Supreme Court judge. Let me just tell her that to even find a judge, you can even issue a notification. First, you have to take consent, and there's so many retired High Court judges who willingly agree for such commissions. So I think this is a very strategized move by the BJP that they have issued the notification, but they will never find a retired High Court judge to look into the Snoopgate controversy. If their intentions were good, then they should have requested a High Court judge first, and after that they should have named that judge in the notification itself. And these are the
What's
ways
the relevance
by
of your
which
argument in the
BJP
context of
tries
the
to delay.
accountability, proposed accountability commission which we are discussing?
My relevance is this, that even in the Snoopgate controversy, they would never find a retired High Court judge because they do not
Who
want
didn't
their
find?
government to be
Did Shinde
accountable to
find?
anybody.
Arnab.
Did Shinde
Arnab,
find?
can I?
Shinde said in January I
Arnab,
will
I
find.
need to comment.
He
Arnab,
promised
If
in
the
December
Congress
we'll
How do I
find.
have a chance?
Then why should
You know,
the
you're so
BJP
soft
be
on the
not
Congress
held
party, it's
accountable?
amazing.
Arnab, I
There
want
has
to
to
get
be
a
some
chance.
limit to the-
BJP
to your-
and Congress,
to this
both-
relationship
both
you've got with the
are-
Congress party.
BJP and Congress both are hell-bent on destroying
please.
institutions.
Okay, Mr. Kesavan, we have 5 minutes
Arnab.
left. We are going to let Mr. Kesavan come in, then she can respond. Then we'll get the studio back. Mr. Kesavan, yes, I think you've been
Yeah,
wanting to
Arnab.
square off with Meenakshi. Which specific point?
I've been wanting and I've not been getting a chance, but let me say this. You asked this twice or thrice to me. Let me make it unequivocal and categorical. Nobody is nervous about this. The Congress party stands for transparency. The Congress party stands for accountability. It has passed the Loca and the RTI. We welcome anything because we always upheld the rule of the law and the law of the land. And let me tell you one thing, we are not nervous. On the contrary, we are confident that the people will vote back, the Congress party and the UPA back to power. That the funny part is, the BJP is talking about accountability. You look at their, case in Sohrabuddin Sheikh, when Mr. TKS Tulsi was in the Supreme Court counsel saying that it was not a fake encounter, Mr. Narendra Modi makes a speech in Mangrol, in 2007 and says, we did it intentionally. And these people talk about accountability. He took accountability for the Gujarat government killing the Sohrabuddin Sheikh, and Mr. TKS Tulsi resigned as a Supreme Court counsel. This is the kind of accountability BJP talks about. So let's not get into these. And let me tell you one thing. They've made a law.
They could not even conduct a fair investigation. The Supreme Court had to set up
They
an
don't
SIT.
answer.
In Godhra riots, the government could not even do a fair investigation.
Let me say that Gaurav is here. Let me say that Mr. Narendra Modi is talking about accountability. Modi ji has not opened his mouth about Muzaffarnagar. He's not mentioned one word. And he has the chutzpah to contest from, Varanasi. He's not said one word about Muzaffarnagar. And BJP questions
Mr. Kesavan, they have rewarded the MLA by giving them tickets for the Lok Sabha election. That is what Mr. Narendra Modi has done. They have rewarded those MLAs by giving them tickets.
Suresh Raina in Agra, and you have these three people contesting in Uttar Pradesh, and you talk about accountability? Oh, please, the people of India are looking at this. And let's not forget it, they'll give you a befitting reply.
No, the point
let's
is
not talk
simple.
about accountability. The Congress party is confident.
Rhetoric can go
Can I ask one question?
You want me to answer?
Yes, one second. She also has a question.
No,
You
I
can
want to
answer at the
ask
end.
actually Meenakshi and the BJP. Just a few days ago, Narendra Modi had made a very measured statement about the law taking its own course.
Right, he did.
From there, he has moved to Accountability Commission and accountability. Now, why? What has happened in those intervening 4 or 5 days that he has suddenly upped the ante?
Sharper
Why
as
is
a
why?
result they approach
Is it
this?
because Priyanka is getting more aggressive and because she's taking Modi head on? Is that why he is doing it? What has suddenly changed in the last 4 or 5 days?
Okay, let her complete.
Should
Please.
I answer? You see, I want to find out what is Priyanka Vadra's connection, because whatever papers I'm seeing, she's somebody who's a beneficiary of Vadra model to begin with. Number two, she's free to get sharper as much as she wants, but nobody in this country can be above law. Institution by institution has been destroyed by the Congress. Same institutions need to be strengthened is one part of the theory. Maybe there has to be reworking of the institutions, and maybe certain parts one thinks can be brought under Lokayukt, Lokpal or CBI.
So you're going to restructure the entire enforcement directorate?
No, not necessarily. Not
You're going to restructure all the investigative agencies.
Why should
Are you
people?
carrying old
People
grouses?
loot this country and get away? That's my question.
No,
and
are
has
you carrying
that
a
not
grouse
happened?
kufa? Will you be carrying a
Then why
grouse
I'm
should
kufa?
sorry,
people
I am
murder
representing the
others and
people
get
of
away
this
with it,
country,
Mrs.
and
Lekhi?
people are
What happened
asking
in the
for
Godhra
accountability
riots?
today,
The
which
Supreme
they are
Court
not
had
getting, and that's why they are
my
looking for
question
a
to you,
change.
Meenakshi Lekhi,
You have
is that,
Sriramalu.
by the way,
BJP
this
had a-
argument
the
made
B-
about what the Aam Aadmi Party, etc., the issues which were raised earlier. Now, Arvind Kejriwal repeatedly talks about the crony capitalism which the BJP believes in.
He himself is beneficiary of the same system.
No, wait 1 second, please. Will you include his charges as part of your accountability commission, or how will you dismiss it because it comes from a political opponent?
No, it's not just a political opponent. He's a beneficiary of the same
So
system.
you decide-
He never talks about Jindal, Munjal and Bajaj.
Arnab,
I think this rhetoric can't go on.
No, you
This
decide
rhetoric
what the
can't
issues
go
are.
on.
No, you decide
I'm
what the
not
issues
saying
are.
what I
No,
decide.
then
The
go to
decision has to be of the people.
you
And
decide.
even NGO should come under some kind of accountability.
The criticism will be... Yes, Mr. Kesavan, 1 second.
Why should these NGOs who get funded by Havyos and so on get away with it?
Mr. Kesavan.
It is important to remind the BJP
Who openly talk about Kashmir agenda and God knows what
Mr. Kesavan.
that
They are anti-nationals.
What do they have answer for that?
Arnab,
No, let me say that the Gujarat government
Arnab,
filed an
during the
affidavit to the
Godhra
Supreme Court
riots,
in the Suitgate scandal
this
saying
very
they
government
accept
of
that the
Modi
woman was surveilled
could not even
under
conduct
surveillance.
Oh my
What do they
God.
say for that?
The woman is saying
Where
she's
was
not been
accountability?
surveyed. I mean,
I give the last
how
word
are
to
you
Vinod
talking?
Mehta.
What are you
We are
talking?
going to
Have you read the
we already
woman's
over time on
statement?
this. Vinod Mehta.
where
I
was the
think the
accountability
They have
of
no
the
moral
BJP
is a very
government
bad
speak
idea.
about
during the
this.
Godhra riots?
From your party's point of view, it diverts your attention to some urgent tasks that await Mr. Modi, and I am surprised that you have got into this kind of tangle, which will finally ensnare you. because there are enough people in your own party.
Vinod Mehta, let's see
So
what they do.
let
16th
whoever-
is sometime away. 16th is sometime away. The excitement in this election is gripping. The nervousness, the anticipation, the hostility and bitterness, I must say, are quite incredible. Having covered quite a few elections, I've never found an election
So are your
in which...
debates, Arnab.
Yes, you want the last word, Gaurav.
So are your
What were
debates.
you saying?
No, I just said so are your debates. You know, they are very interesting and meaningful.
Thank you, Gaurav Bhatia. Should I return the favor saying that it's all because of you? I won't
not
say
at
that.
all.
Stop fishing for compliments.
Not at
Gaurav
all. I
Bhatia,
think
thank
they're
you very
very
much.
eminent people on your
Mr.
panel
Kesavan,
tonight.
thanks. Meenakshi, good to see you in the studio. Vinod Mehta and Arati Jerath, thanks very much for joining me on that debate. Thank you.